Hello, welcome to my bedroom floor. My name is Dags, and I've been gone for a while. I'm not really gonna explain why because I don't think anyone really cares. And I don't mean that in a sad boy way, like, I genuinely think you didn't click on this video to know why I was gone for a week. Maybe I'll say it later, but right now I'm just gonna talk about what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about how college will not save you. Okay, and listen, this is coming from a person who is in college. I am a second year college student. I am pursuing a degree in multimedia studies, which is like, it's pretty good. It's a mix of practical and creative because I'm a creative person. I'm a creative person. I'm a creative person. I would not survive in a STEM sort of course. I actually like math. I enjoy it, but when it gets to a point, okay, it gets to a point, and when I have to study too much of it, I can't. But that's not the point of the video. Um, I'm saying this from the perspective, from my perspective, and I am an art student. No, I'm not an art student. I'm an artist, sort of, technically, but not professionally. You know what I mean? And okay, here's the thing. I had the option to pursue a degree in something more artistic and something that I really am truly passionate about. Like, for example, literature. I I love the idea of pursuing literature. I love the idea of learning about that stuff. I also love music production, and I was debating on whether I should, try to apply for a music degree or a music production degree. But ultimately, I decided against that. Um, I decided against both of them. Literature. Wait, was it literature or creative writing? It was either of the two. It's like the same thing. Okay, it's not the same thing. I know it's not the same thing, but you know what I mean. So literature and music production. Those are the two things that I love and that I genuinely want to pursue after I graduate. But I did not choose to pursue those things in college, and the reason for that is because I don't love them that much. And let me explain. Do not click away. I have some valuable thoughts in my coconut. I promise. Um, my eye bags are not very appealing right now. I apologize. Okay, so I'm gonna put this into perspective. And if you're currently taking some kind of course or degree that's really niche, and you might feel upset or maybe attacked by this, that's not my intention. Okay, I'm just talking about like me. This is just what I think. Okay, I'm pulling this out of my ass, so don't come for me. The thing is that I do love learning about literature and music, but I don't love all of it. And what I mean by that is, yes, I will read classics. Yes, I can like dabble in different genres of music. But when it becomes having to when it turns into having to study the lives of the lives and works of really old white men, I can't relate to that. Okay, like, I'm sorry. I know that I'm gonna seem like some woke feminist or something, but I'm being so serious. Like, okay, I'm trying to put into, like, give a good example of it. For example, I had to read a classic that was like hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of pages long, and it was just full of outdated, misogynistic, conservative views and ideas. I can't apply that to whatever it is I want to write. Okay, I cannot take anything away from that sort of book. And the thing is, I know that I could study these boring topics, like for example, the history of music production. Would I enjoy it? But I know that I could study it enough to at least pass. But what would be stuck in the back of my mind when when I was considering all of these different things is that my intelligence is gonna be based on how much I know the history of music production, or like my value as an artist, as a music producer, as a musician. It's gonna be based off of how much I know the lives of these possibly dead guys, And I know that seems like a really brash or shallow way to put it, but I know that you know what I'm talking about. And the thing is, I just don't love these things that much to enjoy studying those boring topics, okay? And this might seem arrogant, but I have this belief that I genuinely can just study whatever it is that I need to learn if I want to be a successful artist, And obviously it will help if I were part of a very like niche sort of program, a college program, then obviously it would help because they would tell me what exactly to study and shit like that. But I'm just not that kind of person. I'm the kind of person where like I want to learn as I go. I work, like for example, I'm working on something and then it's like, what is this? I don't know how to do this. And then I just search up how to do it and then it's like, okay. And then I can immediately put it into practice and apply what I just learned because I needed to learn it. So I searched it up and then I can apply it right away after I learn it. And that's like you can't tell me that's a bad way to learn. You can't. And another thing is full disclosure. Did I use that right? I grew up homeschooled, okay? So my mode of learning was always like a one-on-one thing. I did experience having actual classes in junior high school, like face-to-face classes with a bunch of other kids and there's one teacher. I never learned like that. And okay, another factor is that I am neurodivergent, so that could be the driving factor behind that. But yeah, for senior high school, I was in this sort of unconventional art school, and and we were grouped into small groups, okay? And we had one teacher and they were called a mentor. And my mentor at the time was explaining that, back in the day, maybe like ancient times, if you wanted to pursue a career, you would find someone who was already working in that career and ask them to teach you, and they would sort of take you under their wing, teach you the ropes, and you can go straight to working, like that's the whole mentor kind of setup. And I think that's something that artists could really thrive off of. Do you know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the traditional way of learning or teaching can't be applied when it comes to anything art related, but I do think that it's just not gonna set artists up enough as pause, rewind. I need to find the words. Don't click away. I'm saying this because I just don't think that it can be applied 100% when it comes to artists, okay? I think that artists would benefit way more um, if the mode of teaching was like one-on-one, like a mentorship kind of thing. And again, I might hold some bias because, that's how I grew up and that's how I learned a lot of the things. Um, but yeah, I do think that. And again, like, I'm sorry, but when you pursue a college, when you like sign up for a college program and something really niche, like what I said, literature, you're gonna have to study so much. You're gonna have to study so much fluff. What I mean by fluff is they're just stuff that you're never gonna remember again. You're never gonna actually apply to your own works, and they're really just not gonna resonate with you. And yeah, I'm not one of those people who have experienced that personally. Like, I'm not speaking from personal experience, but I do know some people, like a couple of people, who are in that position or have been in that position, and I can say with confidence that uh, a lot of art students do feel that way, and it sort of takes away their love for the craft at some point. Not every student, obviously, but it happens, and that's what I was deathly afraid of, because again, like I said, I love music. But if I studied music and I had a, a bunch of profs in my ear telling me what counts as good music and what doesn't, or the right way to make music and the wrong way to make music, I feel like that just takes away the essence of what art is entirely. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I believe that art is like very, very subjective. It's completely subjective. It's not something that can be put into a box. And yes, there are fundamentals that every artist should know if they're going to pursue a specific line of art. Like, obviously you need to know composition, you need to know cinematography, you need to know music theory, a bunch of stuff like that. And yes, they're important to know, but there are a lot of things that you'll have to learn beyond that might not exactly be taught in a traditional art school, or they're not taught effectively in a way where, one, you can understand it, and two, you can apply it when you're making your own creations. And I didn't like the idea of that, which is why I did not pursue an art degree. And again, it can take away your love for the craft, because then it becomes an obligation to create. And sometimes they're going to tell you what exactly to create. You might have to make things that don't resonate with you at all, or they're not a proper reflection of yourself. And I think that takes away the core of art and creativity, because I do believe that art is a form of self-expression, and the artist will always linger in their creations. So when those creations become assignments, I feel like you're going to see less and less of their creators, which, I don't know, I just find it kind of disheartening. And it's not the end of the world, of course, but yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to talk about that, because I don't know, because for a long time I was sort of second guessing whether I made the right choice when it came to choosing my school and my program. Because again, I'm studying multimedia. It's not that I hate it, but I was never interested in it. But now I am pretty interested in it. I feel like it's very deeply rooted in humanities, and these other things that I'm personally really interested in. Last trimester, I took up a class that was gender and multimedia, and it was fun, it was cool. So, yeah. And I don't think anyone needs me to say this point blank, but I didn't make this to discourage anyone from pursuing an art degree if that's what they really want. I guess I can say that this is more of to comfort anyone who didn't get to pursue that art degree, or maybe they were forced into pursuing something else like I was. And that's okay, because then your passion, it's not gonna feel like an obligation. It's not gonna feel like a job. You can do that on the side, and you can very much still learn everything that you want to learn about that thing that you're passionate in, regardless of what degree you're pursuing or what career you're pursuing. You can still very much learn about the things that you are actually interested in, and you can still very much pursue them. Yeah, humans are complex. If you graduate from a STEM course, that doesn't mean that you're stuck there for life. Life is unpredictable and shit. If I keep talking, I'm gonna start saying a bunch of weird stuff about life and people and society and the universe, maybe even capitalism. It sounds corny now when people talk about capitalism, because I feel like a lot of people talk about it without actually really knowing what it is or its effects on society. I might make a video about capitalism, maybe, perhaps, perchance. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Also, I tried to record 2 videos before this, but when I watched them back, the audio cut off. I don't know why. I actually ordered a new microphone adapter to connect to my phone because I thought that was the problem. But then I tried it and it was still getting cut off. So I was like, what the hell? So yeah, that's why I haven't uploaded. I was also sick, and again, my throat was like messed up and it sounded really gross. So I wanted to spare you guys from that. Sorry if this ramble was like kind of messy and not very substantial. I apologize. I am still recovering from my flu, and I got my period yesterday, which is fun. It's fun. So, yeah. Life is a constant battle. Anyways, I'm gonna go eat dinner now. If you haven't eaten, then you probably should. But goodbye. Be a good person. Make good art. Eat good food. I hope the people in your life are kind to you, and I hope that you are kind to the people in your life. Unless they're not kind to you, then I don't care. Do whatever you want to them. Okay. Bye bye.